Have you ever felt a deep sense of loneliness, even when you are surrounded by people? This is a feeling that so many of us know. It's a quiet ache in the heart. It tells us something is missing. In the incredible book 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, we are introduced to the Buendia family. They live in a town called Macondo, a place that is magical but also filled with a profound sense of isolation. This family, generation after generation, experiences a solitude so deep it almost feels like a curse. It's a powerful story that holds up a mirror to our own lives and our own quiet struggles. The Buendias are trapped in their own worlds. They are so busy with their own passions, their own memories, and their own fears that they often fail to truly connect with one another. Think about Jose Arcadio Buendia, the patriarch, who becomes so obsessed with his scientific discoveries that he loses touch with his family. Or consider Remedios the beauty, whose stunning appearance isolates her from everyone around her. Each character carries their own form of solitude. This isn't just a story about a fictional family in a faraway land. It's a story about the human condition. It reminds us that we too can get lost in our own heads. In our modern world, this feeling is all too common. We live in an age of incredible connection through technology. We have phones that can reach anyone, anywhere, and yet so many of us feel more alone than ever before. We scroll through pictures of other people's lives, feeling like we are on the outside looking in. We might sit in a crowded coffee shop, surrounded by others, but feel completely invisible. This is the solitude of the 21st century. It's the same echo of loneliness that haunted the Buendia family for 100 years. It's a universal feeling that ties us all together, even in our separateness. But here is the beautiful truth. Recognizing this feeling is the very first step toward changing it. The story of Macondo is not just a tale of sadness, it's also a powerful lesson. It shows us what can happen when we allow isolation to take over. It serves as a warning, but it also lights a path forward. By understanding the Buendia's struggles, we can start to understand our own. We can see how easily we can build walls around our hearts. And once we see the walls, we can finally start the work of taking them down, brick by brick, to let the light and other people in. The Buendia family's solitude feels like a destiny they cannot escape. It is passed down like an inheritance, a repeating cycle of missed connections and inner turmoil. Each new generation seems doomed to repeat the mistakes of the last. This can feel very familiar, can't it? Sometimes we feel like our shyness or our feelings of being an outsider are just part of who we are. We might think, I've always been this way, and I'll always be this way. We start to believe that our own solitude is a fixed part of our story. But I am here to tell you that this is simply not true. Your story is not yet written. Personal change is always possible. The book shows us that even in Macondo, there are moments of true, beautiful connection. When characters share their stories, when they open their hearts, the magic of community comes alive. Think of the friendship between Aureliano Buendia and his many sons, or the brief but powerful love stories that bloom against all odds. These moments are glimmers of hope. They show us that the cycle of loneliness can be broken. The key is to make a conscious choice. A choice to reach out. A choice to be vulnerable. A choice to try something new, even if it feels scary. One of the most powerful things we can do is to start small. You don't have to transform into the life of the party overnight. The journey to becoming more extroverted, to feeling more connected, begins with a single step. It could be as simple as making eye contact and smiling at the person who makes your coffee in the morning. It could be asking a coworker about their weekend and truly listening to their answer. These small acts create tiny bridges between you and another person. They send a message to the universe and to yourself that you are open to connection. Think of it like planting a garden. You can't expect a full bloom overnight. First, you have to prepare the soil. You have to plant a single seed. Then you water it, give it sunlight, and wait patiently. Each small act of reaching out is like planting a seed of friendship. Some seeds might not sprout, and that's okay, but many will. Over time, With consistent effort and a little bit of faith, you will find yourself standing in a beautiful garden of your own making, filled with the warmth and color of human connection. Every day is a new chance to plant a seed. So, how do we begin to build our own vibrant community, our own Macondo filled with connection instead of solitude? The answer lies in finding your people. 100 Years of Solitude teaches us that shared passions, even strange ones, bring people together. The Buendias were united by their shared history and their wild dreams. In our own lives, we can find this same unity by joining groups or clubs that align with what we love. Do you enjoy reading? Join a book club. Do you love to hike? Find a local hiking group. Do you have a passion for painting, or cooking, or even just playing board games? When you join a group centered around a shared interest, the pressure to make conversation disappears. You already have something in common to talk about. This is a wonderful way to ease into social situations. You are not just a stranger in a room, you are a fellow book lover, a fellow nature enthusiast, a fellow creator. This shared identity is a powerful foundation for friendship. It gives you a natural starting point. You can talk about the latest chapter, the best trail, or the new recipe you tried. It's a simple, low-stakes way to start building those essential connections you've been longing for. Another powerful lesson from the novel is the importance of sharing your story. The history of the Buendia family is kept alive through the stories they tell each other. Your life is also a story, and it deserves to be heard. When you meet someone new, don't be afraid to share a little piece of yourself. Talk about a movie you loved, a funny thing that happened to you, or a dream you have for the future. Being vulnerable enough to share your personal experiences is how you turn an acquaintance into a friend. It shows them that you trust them, and it invites them to share their own story in return. Of course, it's also important to find a balance. The journey to extroversion doesn't mean you have to give up your precious quiet time. Solitude is not always a bad thing. It can be a time for reflection, for creativity, and for recharging your spirit. José Arcadio Buendia's solitude led to amazing discoveries. Your own quiet time can be just as fruitful. The goal is not to eliminate solitude, but to balance it with social time. It's about creating a life where you feel just as comfortable enjoying a quiet evening with a book as you do laughing with friends over dinner. True fulfillment comes from honoring both sides of yourself. One of the most profound messages in 100 Years of Solitude is that time is circular. The past is always present, and history repeats itself. While this leads to the family's tragic fate, we can choose to see it in a different light. We can see it as a message of endless opportunity. If time is a circle, then every single day is a new beginning. Every sunrise offers a fresh chance to break old patterns. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter how long you have felt lonely. Today, right now, you have the power to choose a different path for yourself. It is never, ever too late to find connection. It is never too late to make a new friend. You might feel that your time is past, that everyone else already has their circle of friends. But that is just a story you are telling yourself. The world is full of people who are also seeking connection, people who would be delighted to meet you. The final Buendia discovers the family's history right at the end, a moment of profound understanding. You too can have a moment of understanding where you realize that your future is not defined by your past. You can start creating your community today. Think of your life as a grand, unfolding story. You are the author. If you don't like the chapter you are in right now, you have the incredible power to start writing a new one. This new chapter can be filled with adventure, laughter, and the warmth of friendship. It begins with one small, brave choice. Maybe it's saying yes to an invitation you would normally decline. Maybe it's reaching out to an old friend you haven't spoken to in years. Or maybe it's simply deciding that you are worthy of connection and love, because you absolutely are. That decision is the most powerful first step. The story of Macondo ends, but your story continues. Let the tale of the Buendias be a lesson, not a prophecy. Use it as inspiration to seek the connection your soul craves. Embrace the idea that every day is a new opportunity to grow, to learn, and to open your heart just a little bit wider. You are on a journey, and like all great journeys, it happens one step at a time. Be patient with yourself, celebrate small victories, and never forget that a whole world of friendship is waiting for you, just on the other side of fear. Your new beginning is here.